Hi, some thoughts for today, the 7th Sunday of Easter. Well, the elections are done. There are winners, but many more losers. The seats for County Council, Local Council, Police and Crime Commissioner, Milk Monitor have been settled. Promises made, leaflets posted, interviews made, votes cast and counted, winners declared, and our lives move on, wondering what it was all about and will it make any difference. I've often wondered how those who did not make it feel at the moment. The disappointment, perhaps even frustration and anger, has to be dealt with. Or do you just say the election was stolen and flounce off to your private golf course? It's hard not to be chosen. It's hard to be rejected. Somehow we are not good enough. We don't fit the right profile. It is not easy. Our youngest daughter Anya is studying musical theatre at uni. As well as the studying, there is time in the dance studio, learning acting techniques and the singing lessons. As well as all that, there are frequent auditions for various shows. These auditions are a one-off, where she puts herself on the line. Will she be good enough? Is this the right outfit? Is the song right? Has the preparation been enough? At home, we wait anxiously. So today we find ourselves in the middle of an election. Peter calls the brothers together and tells them that Judas the Iscariot needs to be replaced. Peter then lays out the rules, and they are quite straightforward. The person chosen must have been with Jesus right from the very beginning. Also someone who travelled round with Jesus, and he was also there right at the end and was a witness to the resurrection. So someone who was there right at the beginning to the very end. Two names appear on the ballot paper, Justus and Matthias. Now comes the election. It begins with prayer, and from their prayer you can recognise this is going to be God's choice. The disciples are merely the means by which God's will be done. No lobbying for justice or placards screaming, "Vote for Matthias." No. Here they are, Lord, now you choose. To give God a say in the proceedings, each candidate would write the name on a stone. The two stones will be placed into a vessel. The vessel will be shaken until one stone falls out. Today the pot is shaken and Matthias' stone comes out first, and so he is gathered amongst the 12 apostles. Job done. No lobbying, no arguing, no promoting. Just God's will be done. And after that we hear nothing more of Matthias, or Justus for that matter. Since first reading the story so many years ago, I've often wondered how Justus felt about not being selected by the God he both loved and served. Did he feel rejected? Did he flounce off to the golf course? Obviously, I'm looking with my own eyes and thinking through my own heart. For rejection in our world can mean humiliation, not being good enough, can lead to ridicule and even for some complete oblivion. But Matthias and Justus were living in a very different world with a hugely different mindset. They had both come to know Jesus as a real living presence among them. They both knew Jesus and were beginning to understand this new way of behaving and had been his companion through all sorts. They had a daily, hour by hour, minute by minute awareness that Jesus was with them. Jerome K. Jerome, who wrote the book 3 Men in a Boat, tells of an old cobbler who on the coldest day left the door of his shop open and on being asked why replied, "So that he can come in if he is passing by." A constant awareness of God's presence in Jesus. Later on in Acts we read how the early followers looked after one another, how they held everything in common and took care of those in need. Justus would have been supported not only by Matthias, Peter and the rest of the gang, but also by what he had experienced with Jesus. Today we cast people aside so easily, put down and make people look stupid and feel inadequate. It is amazing to think that God left the work of Jesus to be carried on by this group, maximum of 120, who had no power, no money, no status, very little education, no authority other than they had been companions of his son Jesus. God selected and elected them. He trusted them to continue his story. Now, like Matthias, the lot falls on us to be his companions in the world. Our audition has been successful. We have been chosen because God knows what we are and what we can do to be his love in the world. And that is enough. Travel safe, pilgrim.